He is Brahmavadi Sabhapati. He is president of the Assembly of Vedic followers. Yet he is seated with his wife on his lap as if he were a shameless ordinary person. So he's Mahavrato Dharo. He is at the same time master of all austerities. Ordinary people generally embrace and enjoy their wives' company in solitary places. And how wonderful is it that he is embracing his wife openly. So he was kind of bewildered seeing this behavior, apparently contradictory behavior of Lord Shiva. And simultaneously, he is speaking on the very exalted subject matter of Vairagya and sitting with his wife on his lap and embracing amongst the assembly of great Vaishnavas or saintly people. So, out of bewilderment, Chitraketu was not kind of an offender, but he merely expressed his wonder and smiled and kind of thought that Shiva is Lord. There is no harm if he performs apparently this kind of wrong act. But ignorant people will misunderstand and criticize him, and thus will be destroyed for their offense, like how Daksha did. So I should establish that he has proper conduct and he should not have infamy. Lord Shiva and the assembly there understood this intention of Chitraketu and kept silent. If Chitraketu's words were blasphemy of Lord Shiva, the assembly would have been blocked their ears and left. So this was not actually direct blasphemy, but Chitraketu wanted to save the honor of Lord Shiva, saying that many people they try to follow Yadeda Acharati Shreshtas Tattat Evetaro Jana Tayat Pramanam Kurute Lokastad Anuvartate. So whatever a great man does, a common man follow. So there could be some anarchy or immorality in the society, seeing that this can be done. This, contradictory behavior is accepted amongst the assembly of Vaishnavas also. So Chitraketu Maharaj wanted to eradicate that possibility also. So therefore he kind of laughed at the behavior of Lord Shiva. In the 10th slok, it is said that Chitraketu also, Maharaj had a tinge of little pride, not knowing the prowess, Atadvirya of Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. Chitraketu criticized them and thought himself to be a better controller of senses than Shiva. This happened because it is said that both of them, the worshipable Lord of Lord Shiva and Chitraketu Maharaj, was the same, Sankarshan, Lord Sankarshan. So probably he thought we are kind of god brothers, so I can laugh at him, his kind of behavior. So, and he had already had the darshan of Sankarshan because of the mantra given by Narad Muni. So, some kind of tinge of pride was there present. Unless there's a tinge of pride, no one can offend, or that is the mother of Vaishnava Aparadh. Tinge of pride, or some superiority feeling that I know better, I'm better in a position than this particular person. Unless that thing is there, there is no possibility of committing Vaishnava Aparadh. So although Chitraketu never meant to insult Shiva, he should not have criticized the Lord despite his transgressing of social customs. Chitraketu was somewhat proud at having achieved Lord Sankarshan's favor and therefore thought fearlessly that he could criticize even Lord Shiva. Then Mother Parvati kind of becomes irritated with him. She takes this as an offense and sarcastically thinks that I suppose Brahma, Bhrigu, Narad, Kumar, Manu, and Kapil have all forgotten dharma as they did not prevent Lord Shiva's improper behavior. And only this particular guy, he thinks that he has the audacity. He is in position to correct Lord Shiva. There are so many personalities to the accomplishment of Brahma, Bhrigu, Narad, the Kumaras, Manu, Kapil, they're all there present here in this assembly. They are not saying anything. This kind of behavior of my husband is perfectly fine with them. Then why this particular person is thinking he's so special as to he thinks that he is in a position to chastise or laugh at Lord Shiva. Then Mother Parvati curses him to become, because of his apparent misbehavior, like a demon. She said, may you become a demon. I mean, she, there were mixed feelings. There was a feeling of motherly compassion also. And also, at the same time, she wanted to, like a compassionate mother, wanted to correct her child. So therefore she said, my dear son, your impudent one also, you are my dear son. So take birth as a demon so that you will not commit such an offense against towards exalted persons like Lord Shiva. So Prabhupada in that purport says a mother's punishment to a misbehaving son is actually out of natural affection. For Chitraketu, Parvati's curse was a boon because after taking birth as a demon Vritrasur, he was promoted directly to Vaikuntha. Being born as Vritrasur, he increased his prema since the devotees at the level of prema do not consider any difference between obtaining a body of a demon or a devotee. So they are just this kind of, again, glorifying devotees of the Lord, that they are not even interested in what kind of body they are possessing, either demon's body, a demigod's body, a human body, or any other form of body. As long as they can serve the Lord, their beloved Lord, and increase their prema. So in that purport, Prabhupada says that actually Lord Sankarshan wanted Chitraketu to return to Vaikuntha as soon as possible. So the Lord always desires that the living entity who has left him um, out of revolting in the spiritual world and come in this material world with the desire of bhoga to enjoy with a purusha bhav. But the Lord knows that this is not good for the living entity. He is never going to be happy or be able to enjoy separate from him. So he desires that each and every of his living entity ceases his material existence as early as possible. So he has a tailor-made, customized plan for each of his devotees, which is unique for every devotee. So we never know what is there, made for us for the Lord and by the Lord, which will be revealed before us unexpectedly. We might take it as not so pleasant circumstance or some setback or calamity, but that could be a unique plan of the Lord to take that particular devotee back home, back to Godhead as early as possible. So Chitraketu Maharaj speaks in, means he accepts that curse very politely and speaks to Mother Parvati that samsara chakra etasmin jantur agyana mohita brahmyan sukhancha dukkhamcha bhunkte sarvatra sarvada. In this wheel of material existence, the living entity being deluded by ignorance wanders undergoing happiness and distress as a result of past deeds everywhere, always. In this flowing river of material modes, what is curse and what is blessing? Guna prabhava etasmin ka shapa ko na anugraha ka sargo naraka kova kim sukha dukkham evava. What is the curse and what is blessing? What is heaven and what is hell? What is happiness and what is distress? So in purport, Prabhupada says this material world is like a salt mine in which one tastes only salt wherever he goes. Similarly, the so-called happiness in this material world is also misery in disguise. So all these so-called happinesses in this material world, they are all in four category only: ahar, nidra, bhaya, and maithun. So they cannot be uh, called real happiness, which the soul desires or soul needs. What the soul needs is complete satisfaction and eternal happiness, which is there only in the service of the Lord. So then Chitraketu Maharaj further talks to Mother Parvati. Uh, Lord Shiva talks to Parvati about the greatness of the devotee. He said, "Oh, my dear beautiful Parvati, have you seen the greatness of the servants of Lord Vishnu who perform astonishing acts? Adbhuta Karmana. Devotees, they are not interested in any kind of material happiness. Lord Shiva indicated that Parvati is beautiful, but the beauty of the devotee is greater. Vishnu's astonishing act, he caused Parvati to be offended and utter a curse. He showed the greatness of devotee Chitraketu, whose prema did not cease at all and who remained indifferent even when cursed, and no effect of the curse. Uh, if Parvati's curse couldn't give the slightest unhappiness to Chitraketu, then the curse is actually powerless. It was not really a curse. Um, and Lord Shiva says, the devotees of the Lord, they never fear any condition of life in this material world or in any other place. For them, heaven, hell, or liberation are all the same. They are interested only in the service of Lord Narayan. So, seeing this standard behavior of all Vaishnavas, Chitraketu accepted the curse, even though he was powerful enough to counter curse Mother Parvati or completely not accept that curse, not act upon him. Still, he humbly accepted it and then became Vritrasur. And this was explained by uh, Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, who was astonished to see this. So here the prayers of Chitraketu Maharaj in the form of Vritrasur, they are so beautiful that he is again and again every time asking that if you, my dear Lord, if you think that I am not eligible to go back home, back to Godhead, then, and if you think I must remain in this material world, then do one thing, that kindly give me the association of your pure devotees and make me once again Dasanudas. Let me become once again the servant of the servant of the servant of your servants. So I came across that day the prayer, one of the best prayers given by Yamuna Mataji. The biography written by her, her biography written by Deen Tarini Mataji. So this particular prayer of hers was highlighted there, which I would like to read verbatim. She says, I pray that one day I may see you, dear Srila Prabhupada. She is praying to Prabhupada. That I pray that one day I may see you face to face once again. This vision may be many lifetimes in front of me, but I do not see any other goal worth achieving. However, however slow or difficult or impossible this task may seem from my fallen position, there is nothing else more appealing. Please bless me with the perseverance on the path to meet you. So she is praying to Prabhupada that kindly do something like this, that once again I'll become your disciple and you will become my spiritual master. And again we'll continue this relationship of spiritual master and disciple serving you. And she says there is no goal worth achieving which is more better than this. Or there cannot be anything achievable in life. Without this kind of goal, there is no meaning to life. There is nothing else more appealing. So you must see uh, who Yamuna Mataji was. She was like superstar in ISKCON. The first where just like Vritrasur is asking the Lord, I don't want any nanaka prushtam na naradhipatyam nacha parameshtam. Nothing of this material world I want. Similarly, you can see in the life of Yamuna Mataji when the phenomenal historical Govindam Adi Purusham a record was, the album was recorded. It went on for so many months as top of the pop song in all over world and also in other parts of the world, all over Europe and the other parts of the world. And George Harrison offered her that I can make you superstar. You just have to sing in your voice, melodious voice for Apple Records. Overnight, I can make you superstar. She said, no, I don't want this kind of offer. I don't want to do something like this. I just want to remain humble as Prabhupada's servant. Whatever Prabhupada says, I just want to do that. And for that cause, I want to dedicate my life. Um, her the cookbook, she was just instructed by Prabhupada on the go, here and there, few instructions here and there, do like this, you put this spices, this, that, and you make this particular thing. Uh, but having instructed or taught her, Prabhupada said, I have taught you everything, now you teach this in turn to others. So to that effect, she took that instruction so seriously that she started writing a cookbook for that. And she completed 800 pages cookbook, which took several years to complete. Because Dinatarani Mataji says that she was like perfectionist. Without, she wouldn't settle for the second best. Everything she wanted the top, the best one. So she would cook and cook and cook and try and error, and then till the particular recipe becomes perfect, then only she would stop and then record it. So this is how that book kind of took 19 years to come. And then the intention behind that book was to follow this particular instruction of Prabhupada. I have taught you everything, you in turn teach this to others. So there was no other instruction, no other intention. And but then some acquaintances who was a high ranking government official suggested that there's a highest award in food industry for cookbooks. It is IACP Seagram Award, which is kind of a highest honor in the world. So do you want to nominate your book for that? So devotees, she says flatly refused, but then devotees held it upper. They said, yeah, I mean, it will be a good tool for preaching. If the book stands, even comes in 100, last 100, get nominated in the 100 ones, still we can use this as a preaching tool, that this particular, people will come to know that Hare Krishnas are, they will be taken seriously. So not only that, the cookbook went ahead in from last 100, top 100 to it went into top 50, and then went on into top 10, and from top 10 it went into top 3. And the award was supposed to be surprise award. It was on the spot. It was to be awarded, announced on the spot. So they were brought together, invited, and when the award was announced by the president saying that this year some till that time that award was given only to non-vegetarian recipe cookbooks. So it was announced that this year some phenomenal history has created by one particular book, which is a vegetarian book, that too from South Asia. So they still were not confident, and when they actually announced it goes to Krishna's Transcendental Cuisine by Yamuna Devi, they were so flabbergasted. They were saying, like Yamuna Mataji was saying, we couldn't believe our hearts, we couldn't believe our ears, and we were just jumping and dancing and jumping and dancing and saying Hari Bol. So, and after that, so many offers started coming to Yamuna Devi because she overnight became the highest celebrity in the food industry. Like all cruise liners companies, hotel industries, institutions, five-star chains, all these, they were all whoever was in food business, they were all, it was overnight highlighted that this particular lady has to be our brand ambassador. They just gave many big offers. They said, you just have to be there. You don't do anything. Just click your photograph and we'll use your photograph to show to the world that the top earner is our brand ambassador. And she said, no, I don't want to do something like this. They were taken aback. They were shocked. I mean, they were saying, you okay? I mean, why are you letting this down? This is such a big offer. People look forward to this kind of honor and, offers. You don't know what you are going to miss in this. You are going to get phenomenal amount of wealth and fame. She said, no, but that is not my goal. I just want to serve my spiritual master. And this book, the intention of writing, intention behind writing this book was not to become world famous book or become topper. It was just to simply to execute the order of my spiritual master. I have taught you everything. You in turn teach this to others. Um, and then Deen Tarani Mataji says that there was one more offer by the Philadelphia Institute of Food Technology. But then when all the devotees said no, Deen Tarani Mataji and Yamuna Mataji herself, they said probably this will be a good preaching tool because this is such a prestigious institution. Uh, the patrons of whom are big people in or top ranking people in the entire USA. So they say, she said probably this is, will be a good preaching tool. So we'll take this offer, and she actually did. But when that also turned out to be, she thought it goes in a mundane direction. This is turning out to be a mundane affair. So she immediately stopped. However lucrative it was. So she said, no, this is not what I wanted to know, wanted to do, or this is not what Prabhupada wanted me to do. So why I'm telling you this prayer is just similar to Vritrasu's prayer, where he says, I don't want anything of this material world. Nothing. Let Indra take everything. He was asking Indra, come and kill me. Because by killing, I am going to get your, don't worry that Vajra is created by Dadichi's bones. And that is also um, instilled with the powers of Lord Vishnu. It has become infallible. Don't worry. Come and kill me. Because by killing, I am going to immediately go back home, back to Godhead, to again reunited, to be reunited by my beloved Lord. And you are going to stay here only. Because Indra was, and the demigods, they were praying to Lord, they were having darshan of Lord Vishnu, but still they were interested in asking some material benefits from him. Instead of the Lord Vishnu also asked him, kind of prompted him, are you sure this is it? Are you sure you don't want anything else? This is all what you want. It's just all material. And no one, I mean, whoever comes in my presence, no one asks generally this kind of benefits. These are all material, perishable benefits you want. So even after prompting by Lord Vishnu, they were just, because being Karma Mishra Bhaktas, they were only interested in material sense gratification. They were asking Lord to destroy the immediate calamity so that they can enjoy the bodily pleasures in heaven. Whereas Vritrasur, being such an exalted personality, such an exalted devotee, that he was not at all interested in anything of this material world. In those lines, Yamuna Mataji also, you would see so many times. I mean, she has the sacrifice she has done. She is writing somewhere that they were, when Krishna Balram Mandir's construction was going on, she was the only lady in the entire battalion of male devotees. And she said there was no facility at all. What to speak of for women, even for men. And there was no place for me to answer my nature's call. No place to pass stool or urine, she was saying. No place to take bath. For 9 years, she was struggling like this. She said if any lady wanted to take bath, she had to get up at 1:30 or 2 o'clock. Because after that, all the men started getting up. So she said, I had to get up at between that time, maximum 2, and would go behind the construction site where there were tanks for immersing bricks, for wetting them, soaking them in the water. So that water was the only option to take bath. And one fine day, she goes there at 2 o'clock with the mug, puts inside, and something, she gets surprised by the touch of some soft, cushy touch of something. So she wonders and just digs inside and sees there's a dog sitting there. Because of too much of heat, the dog was kind of relinquishing his heat by sitting in that water whole night. And the dog was so there was no hairs on that body of that dog also. It was so dirty looking. But still, there was no choice. He said, I still had to take bath in that. And then I came to know that since so long, so many days, the dog has been sitting and doing the same thing, and I've been taking bath in the same water. Uh, One thing I would like to mention that the cookbook, Prabhupada once came to Radha Damodar temple where they were staying and asked for dinner at 10 o'clock. And Din Tarini Mataji said it was 10 past 2, only 2 minutes past 10. And Prabhupada said, I'm very, very hungry. Kindly give me something. Immediately prepare something as early as possible. And there were no fridge that time. Fridge only came in the world after 80s, the decade of 80. In 60s and 70, there was no fridge. So what they would do, just purchase everything on the spot for that particular day and exhaust it by the evening, because it wouldn't preserve, it would rot immediately. So she went immediately frantically searching for anything in the kitchen and came across one tomato, one potato, and a few fistful of wheat flour, 2, 3 fist of wheat flour. And Dinatari Mataji says she was still so relentless to serve Prabhupada. So if I was there, I would have been completely, she said, I myself was like completely in despair that I can't do anything. Nothing can be done now. It will be a great Guru Aparadh. Prabhupada will be displeased. But she was so relentless. She immediately, and there was one papad, small papad. So she made uh, papad tomato soup, which was never to be taken. We never, heard of before. And she cut that potato into half. Half she used for making sabji with small quantity of tomato and potato, and half, the remnant of that half potato, she used to boil and make paratha of that thing. So, and she said this happened between 10:12 to 10:14. So within 12 minutes, this entire thing was ready. Offering, making, giving offering to the her deities, and washing the deities' plates, and bringing that bhoga to Prabhupada. So I just wanted to mention this, that this is how all these instructions that Prabhupada gave, and especially cooking, and he wanted her to teach that to others. That phenomenal cookbook, which became number one. And after that, she wrote 3 more books. But because she was already superstar, without any hurdle, they became top of the rank in the world. Um, yeah, so I think it's 9 o'clock. We should stop here. So I just wanted to make a point that the beautiful prayers that Vritrasul prayed to Lord Sankarshan, Lord Vishnu, saying that I don't want anything from this material world, because it is useless, it is pointless asking for anything from this material world. So, and similarly, our acharyas also in our parampara, we are so fortunate that Yamuna Mata is just one example of the many gems that we have got. As one of the sannyasis said, ISKCON is the galaxy of Mahatmas. So we should take the association of all devotees very, very seriously, as long as we are there on this planet, as everybody's time is limited, is ticking off. So therefore, taking advantage of these gem-like devotees, we should perfect our lives and constantly pray like Vitrasur, like Yamuna Mataji, keeping their standard of prayers as benchmark standard for us, and progress in our devotional service. Thank you so much. Sorry for just haphazardly talking whatever came in my mind in significant capacity. I spoke. Thank you so much for tolerating. Hare Krishna.